Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Friday, the 1st of April 2022. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the Rider-Waite deck for today's reading. Let's see what these cards have to say about Friday and what the day is going to look like. So I'm just going to shuffle the cards a few times and choose 3 to see what's going on. So let's see, the first card is the Moon, the Knight of Swords, and the Emperor. Okay, so the Moon is a card that's about fear and moving ahead regardless of what's going on, listening to your intuition and feeling like a path has been laid out in front of you, but it's not the easiest path in the world. With the Knight of Swords next to it, I get the sense that if something scares you or if something seems difficult, then you'll want to do it deliberately. It's like a challenge. If something feels kind of scary, then it's like, okay, there's something here. I need to move forward with it. And it seems like you're being provoked almost. And then finally, we've got the Emperor, who's appeared so often lately. And we're really in the season of the Emperor here. The Emperor is independent. He's in charge. He's the leader. We've got all the symbols for Aries here. And on this day, in terms of the astrology, we have a new moon in Aries. I've made a separate video on that, and I go into quite a bit of detail. So if you want some more information on the new moon, have a look at that video. But it's also about the pioneering spirit, setting goals, and looking at how you can achieve those goals, and particularly overcoming things which appear to be outside of your reach or which seem kind of beyond your wildest dreams. And you're really getting back on track and saying, hang on, I can choose to do whatever I like here. Nothing is outside of my reach. I am encouraged. I'm motivated to get things done. And the cards are putting this spin on it in the sense that you're going to want to face your fears. So the Moon is the 18th card in the Major Arcana. By the time you get to the 18th card, you've got a lot of experience. You've experienced love and a change of perspective and things coming undone, and you've realized that ultimately you are incredibly resilient and that you're still standing. So by the time the Moon comes along, and it's interesting, I've never looked at it in this way, there may be another obstacle that's put in your path or another situation which isn't super easy. And here you can see we've got this Moon. It kind of looks, it's got a frown on its face, so it's somewhat troubled or possibly even angry or irritated. Then we've got this lobster coming out of the water, and that's almost like this anxiety raises its head, like this fear suddenly starts to appear out of the deep, and it it kind of crawls its way towards you. I mean, imagine you're walking on this lawn here, let's say, and you're walking along and daydreaming, and suddenly this creature comes out of the black lagoon and starts harassing you. That would be scary. Okay, so next we've got, but I'm getting the association for me on this day is with Scorpio, which is a water sign, and it's about being able to face those difficulties in order to transform them. So it doesn't matter how challenging or how dark something appears to be on the surface, you'll be interested because you'll have this sense of, okay, I can deal with this now and deal with it once and for all so that I'm freer, that I don't have to be intimidated by my circumstances or other people or my own feelings. So we've got this path, the 2 coyotes kind of howling at the Moon. Again, if you're walking along, that would seem scary. Are they going to attack me? What's happening here? And then these 2 towers, which seem kind of like observation towers. If you are walking there, you're going to feel small in comparison to these. And it's like you're being observed and someone is checking whether you make a mistake or not. So there could be a sense of being scrutinized, which for most people isn't very pleasant. And then this big Moon at the top here. Oh, and it's a full moon, obviously. The full moon in astrology is about letting go of things and reaching a place of completion. And that's what I get here. It's like I've been through so many things in my life that I'm not going to let all these little issues bother me. I've got my path. I'm walking it, thank you very much. You can bark and howl as much as you want. You go back in the river, please. And you guys up here Go check your computer screens. Don't be so worried about me, for instance. So there's a real sense of resistance that comes from within you. And it's like, I know what I'm doing and I don't want to be disturbed or intimidated by anything or anyone. Then we've also got the kind of crescent here. So regardless of what stage the moon is at, and today we've got a new moon. The new moon is when the moon is pitch black and it's pulling lots of energy in, and it's pulling this Aries energy into to have the strength to complete its next cycle. So that's what I get. You're not only full of this Aries energy that says, I'm going to push ahead no matter what. There's also a sense of, I'm ready to stand my ground here. And if something tries to distract me or pull me off this path, I'm not going to tolerate that. So that's strength, and you're feeling assertive and all those things. But there is kind of conflict involved with that, with each figure in the card. So what I feel is that the best thing to do is to keep focusing on the end goal. Where is it that you're trying to go? And rather than getting into it with any of these people or things, it's better to walk away and to walk towards what you're trying to achieve instead of getting involved in arguments or little fights or whatever it may be. So keep your eye on the prize and keep going. The Knight of Swords ensures that you're going to get there much quicker than you usually would. So the focus actually pays off, and that's the big warning here. Don't let yourself be distracted if you can possibly help it, because that is going to waste your time and you can get so much done. The Knight of Swords is the quickest of all the knights. It's the element of air, so it's thinking, perception, communication. Again, setting goals, because the sword obviously has a pointy end at the top of it. So if you decide to pursue something, you can get there very quickly. But the knights are extreme. This one is extreme in the sense that he understands a lot more than the other knights do. He's able to get the point very quickly. He knows how to resolve a situation and how to access information which is going to help him on this path. On the downside, he can be somewhat impulsive. So as soon as he sees something, bam, he's galloping off towards it. Again, he's not interested in conflict. He sees that as normal. And then he's got all this red floating around. So he's living his purpose. He's very passionate, and he's going to achieve his mission no matter what. So this also doesn't de-escalate the situation. He can get angry. The Emperor certainly can get angry, but I suppose in a controlled, assertive way. And this card is usually, you know, if you're afraid or if you're angry about something, what's underneath the anger? It's usually fear. I'm getting upset about this because what if I don't get what I want, or I'm being pushed in a corner here? So I can either cry or I can get angry. And usually angry feels a lot easier to deal with for most of us. So again, the point is with the Knight of Swords to use the good points of him. So the clarity of understanding, the ability to make a decision, and realizing that you're in a secure position. I think that de-escalates the situation. So if anyone or anything kind of stands in your way and says, absolutely not, you can't move on here, then if you realize that, well, actually I can, then that's not going to cause you to get angry or afraid, because you know yourself. So looking at the information, making plans, getting your schedule organized, looking at the future, what you want to create in future, any changes you want to make, because air gives you really access to everything in your life and everything in the world. And if there's something that you want to achieve, you'll be able to kind of put your finger on that very quickly. And then finally, the Emperor is in charge. He doesn't look particularly threatened or emotional. He's an older man, he's experienced, he's been through everything, similar to the moon. So looking into your own experience is going to help you. And seeing certain issues as temporary, that's also going to put the right perspective on them. Because things may seem bigger or more threatening than they really are. And if you realize, hey, I've done this about 800 times already, I don't need to get angry or upset about it, that's going to help. And the Emperor then is sitting on his stone throne. He's been on that thing for a while, and the throne itself isn't going anywhere. So you can really rely on yourself. And as long as you continue to set goals and to do the work to get there, the pace is quicker, and I don't think you're going to have a lot of problems if you see yourself as the authority figure and you don't let yourself be slowed down by self-doubt or conflict. He's also wearing armor, so he sees that as normal. So these two characters here, they realize that, hitting each other with swords and going to war, it's not the most pleasant thing. It sometimes appears, but I don't think they linger. I don't think they stand around and say, okay, who am I going to fight next? They're using this to protect themselves. They're not kind of engaging in conflict for the sake of it. They see it as sometimes a necessary evil, but they certainly don't enjoy it. Okay, so number-wise, what have we got? We've got 18, and 1 is 19, and 4 is 23. 2 and 3 is 5 in numerology, and 5 is about freedom. So make sure you keep your eyes on the goal if you possibly can, and you'll set yourself free in terms of your own life circumstances, in terms of the position you occupy, and also in the ability to overcome fears which exist in you, or situations in your life which may seem scary. You're able to resolve those. So super productive day. I hope you have a wonderful time. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to order your reading with me. I use the tarot, astrology, and numerology in my personal reading. So if you have any questions about what's coming up for you in future, or what your life purpose is, or how to overcome certain fears, relationships, travel, spiritual development, anything at all really, then please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.